Okay, for my 7-minute presentation, I decided to do it on the topic of splitting up your time and how to do that effectively with all the things going on in your life. So, say a friend asks you if you want to go to a party. You've had a long week of school, work, and you really just need some time to yourself. You haven't had much of it for the week, and you feel like you don't want to go out. You know that your friend really, really wants you to go to this party, but you decide in the end that you need some boundaries to take care of yourself. And she was very upset about this and wasn't something that she wanted you to do. So, how do you manage that, and how do you tell this one friend that you just need some time to yourself without it coming off rude, but also knowing that you need to set these kind of boundaries for yourself? There are several different ways you can do this. Something that I've done is taking a little graph and dividing my time between, trying to figure out what is the most important to me and what is not as important to me. So a lot of times, for me, spending time with my family and my boyfriend is really important to me. And so knowing that those are priority over other things helps me manage what I would like to do. Next thing is work and school. Trying to divide time between knowing when you have to be at work and setting that time to do that, but also being able to put in enough time for your homework and to get on classes and all the things like that. Another thing for me is blocking out time to spend time with friends and to go out with them, and that's also if that's part of what you do for self-care, then that's so great. But then if that's not something that's necessarily considered self-care to you, just something fun, maybe self-care is another thing that you have decided that you need to put into your little graph, that you need to set up time during the week to have time for just yourself. There's so many ways you can split up your time, and it kind of just depends on what's the most important thing for you. Everyone has different ideas on how they want to split that up, and it's not a right or wrong thing. So being able to also understand that other people have things that are more important to them, so being respectful of that as well. Part of all of this is also knowing what you want out of your life and out of your week, and to try and make those goals. So the first thing is a team is only as strong as individual players. So being able to recognize that maybe you won't put your best foot forward if you yourself do not have a healthy balance of all these things. If you need more self-care, then that will benefit not only you, but also the people you work with, the people you go to school with, your family, your friends, your significant other. Those things make a big difference in their lives if you have a healthy, if you are healthy yourself and you prioritize your schedule and your time. Another thing is routinely take time to identify goals, interests, friendships, and dreams. Being able to identify these things could be so important in your self-growth. If you have friendships that maybe you don't feel like benefit you, or maybe you feel not as great after you hang out with them or you were with them, maybe that's something to reevaluate in your life. Also, identifying goals that you want out of your life, and if you don't have people around you that can support you in achieving those goals and those dreams, then maybe it's not a relationship that you would love to be in. Also, focusing on what interests you and what you like, that can also be a big factor of self-care and what is important to you. Identifying those things can help decide what is important to you in your life. The next one is know what you want for yourself. Despite everyone else around you, because a lot of those people can play a factor, but knowing for yourself that you want to be a doctor, knowing that you want to be a doctor, and you have to know that for yourself and be confident in that, in something that you want to do. And once again, things like being around your family and friends, if that is helping you, if that helps you achieve your goals and that's something you want to do, then you should be around them. And knowing that that's what you want to do and make that a priority. And then know what you want with a partner. I think this is also really important, being at this stage of life, knowing what you want within a life's partner, or when you're dating or getting ready to be married, knowing what you want and not straying from that, because what you think is important to the people around you. And then picture what will happen if you get what you want. Say you achieve all your dreams, your goals, you have great relationships in your life, you have great interests, and what will happen after that? Like, what will your life look like after that? Is it something that will make a dramatic change? Like, what are changes, if these things happen, what will your life look like? And I think that's an important thing to consider. So now we're going to get into small groups, and we're going to kind of discuss how you would like to manage your day, whether you want your self-care to be priority, work to be priority, family, friends. Like, what in a typical day for you would your day look like to achieve all those things that you want? Or what would an ideal day look like for you? And is that a thing that is possible? And then also, knowing your boundaries are important. That, I think, is one thing that we want to take away from this, is knowing what you want out of your life and knowing what your boundaries are. If you don't want to go hang out with a friend, or if you really want to be with your family and over someone else, knowing what you want and like setting those boundaries in the people of your life are really important, and I think that is okay.